All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are looking at a project that started out as just a simple tool, but now it has this massive ambition to become the main gateway for an entire ecosystem, and maybe, just maybe, for all of crypto.
So let's just dive right into it. Think about this. When you want to use a blockchain, where do you actually go? What's your first click? Well, for millions of people on Solana, the answer is becoming pretty clear, and it's just one single project.
And this quote really nails it. This is the core idea we're going to unpack today. We're going to look at how in the world Jupiter got this dominant, what their much, much bigger vision is, and, the fundamental tension between this huge opportunity and some pretty serious risks. Okay, so first things first. How did Jupiter even get here? Well, it all started by solving one simple problem, but doing it better than literally anyone else, getting you the absolute best price when you swap your tokens. See, instead of building their own exchange to compete with everyone, Jupiter did something kind of brilliant. They just plugged into all the other ones. This meant they could always guarantee you the best deal without needing their own massive pool of cash. And in crypto, where every fraction of a cent matters, that simple little utility was unbelievably powerful. And the scale of their success, it's really hard to wrap your head around. Over 85% of all the real organic trading volume on the entire Solana network now flows through Jupiter. That's not just being number one, that is staggering total dominance. And this just puts it in perspective. Jupiter isn't just big, it's playing a completely different game. We're talking nearly 10 times the volume of its closest rival. At one point, its daily volume actually flipped Uniswap. And Uniswap is, the undisputed king of all decentralized exchanges. That's a huge deal. But here's the thing. Dominating swaps, that was just phase one. The team used that massive user base as a launchpad to build something so much bigger. They started bolting on a whole suite of powerful trading tools. You want limit orders? They got them. Want to automatically buy tokens over time? Dollar cost average? They built a tool for that. They even built a platform for perps, which is basically a way to bet on where prices are headed. Suddenly, it wasn't just for swaps anymore. But their real strategy, it went way beyond just adding more features. Yeah. They started buying up the key pieces of your entire crypto experience. First, they grabbed Sonar Watch, the most popular app for tracking your portfolio. Then, they bought Moonshot, an on-ramp that lets you buy crypto straight from your bank account. It was like they were methodically buying up every step of the user's journey, from the very first dollar you put in to the very last trade you make. Which brings us to the Jupe token. And oh boy, at first, this thing was controversial. A lot of people thought its valuation was just way too high. And the tokenomics, the rules behind the token supply and value, these seemed pretty weak. There was a ton of debate. But this is where the story takes a turn. The team listened to all that criticism and responded. They burned 30% of the total supply. Poof, gone forever. And they introduced a buyback system funded by protocol fees. So now, the platform's success is directly tied to the token's value. This was a huge, huge pivot. So, with their foundation on Solana rock solid and their tokenomics totally revamped, Jupiter finally revealed its endgame. And it's a plan that goes way, way beyond its home on Solana. They announced their next big thing, Jupe.net. It's a new omni-chain network. And the whole idea here is to break out of the Solana ecosystem. Their goal is to do for all of crypto what they already did for Solana, pull in all the liquidity from every single chain and put it into one simple, seamless interface. This is their shot at becoming the front end for everyone, everywhere. So this absolutely massive vision, it sets up this central tension for Jupiter's future, right? The potential upside is enormous, but the challenges are just as big. So here's how it really breaks down. The opportunity to become the universal front door for all of crypto. That's a truly mind-boggling vision. But the risk is kind of twofold. On one hand, its fate is still deeply, deeply tied to Solana. If Solana stumbles, Jupiter feels it. And on the other hand, you've got these token unlocks coming up, where huge batches of tokens get released to the team and early investors. That could create some major selling pressure on the price. So as we wrap this up, that's really the question you have to ask yourself. Can Jupiter's wild ambition actually break free from Solana's gravity and aggregate, everything? Or is its destiny forever going to be linked to that one single ecosystem?
That right there is the billion-dollar gamble.